happened with America? What happened? Like we were in good terms, or are we still in good? I don't know. It's like dicey in my head.
So let me first start with the top line, and then I'll come back to the top line. The top line is that in the 1970s, say the Nixon era, we had a hostile White House, we had a hostile state, and we had a agnostic population. People didn't care. I mean, some liked yoga, some liked Hare Krishna. They had these groups that were focused on some elements of Indian spirituality and Indian traditions, but they were largely agnostic. It doesn't matter.
They didn't care. Yeah,
they didn't care. State hated us, and the White House hated us. 2026, I think we have a state that continues to engage with us. So we still have military exercises. We continue to have our defense transactions. We continue to do our big deals. We do our space, quantum. The wheels are turning. We have a hostile White House. We have to be honest about it. We've never had a president so blatantly woo the Pakistanis ever since Nixon, and so blatantly disregard Indian interests.
I'm calling us hellhole for no random things.
Right. So, look, let's be very clear. So, it is a hostile White House, right? The state is not hostile. The state continues to engage with us in the way it was even 5 years ago. And kudos to the Prime Minister's office and the Ministry of External Affairs and Trade Ministry and others who are keeping the wheels turning even as we experience a hostile White House. And the people, the US people, at least we have a very large constituency that likes India. The positive is that we build the people to people.
Really? Do they like us?
And I'll come back to you. I'll come back to why I'm saying this. A large constituency, I said. I didn't say all of them. A large constituency which was not there in the 70s and 80s. Today, the fact was that a Tim Cook took a big risk and continued building out iPhones from India despite Trump telling him and threatening him that he's going to, go after him. He took that big call. You saw the AI summit. Just a few weeks ago, every owner of every big AI platform was standing on the stage with the Prime Minister of India. If that was not liking India, what would it? And why do they like us? It's not because they like, my music or my spicy food. They like the India economic opportunity.
Power, sure, economic power.
खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि क्या कहते हैं हर तकबीर के पहले खुदा बंदे से पूछे कि बता तेरी रजा क्या है. वो there was a शत्रुघ्न सिन्हा movie I saw Vishwanath, right? No, I'm saying the fact is in certain areas where we have done well, we've been able to build a constituency of those who are betting on us. Digital and tech happens to be one part of it. And of course, we can quibble about how we are proceeding, and that's a different story. And it's something that is entirely debatable, and we should discuss whether we are getting it right in terms of our AI policies and everything else. But the fact is that if there were top 5 countries that are exciting when it comes to this particular sector, we are clearly one of them. Therefore, when you had the AI summit, you had more folks with more money in India than you had in France or any other edition before that. In India, people turned up. Despite our traffic and despite our traffic management, people are still standing there. Boss, that tells you how much you love them. Right? How much they love the India opportunity.
Yeah.
Not anything else, the India opportunity. So I think one way of thinking about it is that we have a hostile White House. We have a state that continues to engage in areas of convergence, and we have a sizable population that is invested in your future, which is far better than 1975, and which is kudos to some of the things we may have done in the intervening period, right? So particularly since. So that's one way of a headline way of looking at it. A more cynical way of looking, which I was one that I communicated to those sitting in San Diego, and I think as Indians who have the mic, we must continue to let them know this. I think it is our job to speak truth to people who we believe we share a future with, and I think the Americans we do share a future with. And I told them, I said, look, I think what really happened was that for the first time, Americans also agreed on an arranged marriage system. India and America had an arranged marriage, and we were told by those who were asking us to get married that शादी कर लो, आगे प्यार हो जाएगा. Somewhere along the way प्यार हो जाएगा. 20 years hence, प्यार नहीं हुआ. Donald Trump's presidency establishes that didn't happen. Or at least the spark was not sufficient to prevent it being jeopardized by Donald Trump. And in the next renewal of vows, let us spark some, passion there. And let's think about how do we take this forward. So I think what Donald Trump has told us, at the very least, is that all relationships are fragile, including the transatlantic one, because he's also, dousing that relationship with the inflammables and torching it. But the fact is that what it tells us is that we need to build sustainable equities in each other. And I think we need some big, hairy, audacious, grand projects. The civil nuclear agreement was meant to be that. And because that did not happen, this arranged marriage didn't work. That arranged marriage was based on that big civil nuclear agreement and how we would build a common energy future together. That never happened. The spark never happened. The passion never ignited. The love marriage failed. Or the arranged marriage failed. The love didn't happen, right? So I think now we have to, if when we do the renewal of vows post-Trump, I think next 2 years we hold the line. I think that's what it is.
Do you think it's terrible? Like it's gonna continue being terrible?
Chalega, yaar, 2 saal.
They're trying I don't understand. Sometimes they try a lot, sometimes they don't.
See, my problem is this. He will be highly transactional at the best and highly unpredictable as a norm, right? Now, my view is that a country that is growing at 7, 8, 9%, that has aspirations to build out for its people in certain, in a certain strategic manner, should you be at the whims of an individual like him? Or should you hold the line, ride it out, and start new with the next presidency? In my view, I think he is going to be a liability both to the Republicans and to the Democrats. And any proximity with him is not going to be to the benefit of anyone. That time is over. Now it is a diminishing returns in terms of building a relationship with him. I think it's a waste of time building a relationship with him. Now 2 years have gone. The midterms are coming. Let's wait for the results and let's now plan for the next presidency, both Democrat and Republicans. Let's reach out to the next generation of leaders that are going to come. And then 2029 is going to be an exciting time because both old Republicans and old Democrats are gone. We're going to see a new leadership emerge. And India should hugely invest. I think we sometimes were too lazy. We wanted them to come to us. I think अब हमें शायद समझ आया कि गरज हमारी है कि the need is ours. We have to grow to $10 trillion. We need to sometimes also exert ourselves. And with Americans, I think we need to be far more ambitious in reaching out to all of those constituencies because we want to make sure that we are not surprised by a Trump presidency again. Trump 2.0 does not happen again in the next 25, 30 years till we reach Viksit Bharat. After that, we don't care.
How do we do that?
Exactly by what I'm saying. We have to be, America is not DC. Right? How many of us knew about the turning point and those other, before the terrible incident that happened? Right? How many of us knew about it? Even now, most people will not know about it. But my point is, we have to be present in all of those 50 states. This year, we have ORF America. We launched it a few years ago. So we have a 501c3 organization in the US. And this year, we are going to be doing a big technology conference in Florida. We are going to be doing India Day in Chicago. And we are going to be doing end of the year day in San Francisco, besides our DC presence. We must be doing 50 states in a year. I'm also going to Hawaii this year, again in October. So my point is, we must invest in reaching out to a much wider section of Americans than we normally do. I think we have to go to the states. We have to understand the Congress matters. We have to, how many of us actually give any serious credence to the senators and the congressmen in that particular country? We don't. So we should. And we need to engage with them. We need to explain to them. We need to tell the India story to them. And by the way, some of us much smaller neighbors do that pretty well.
Yeah.
They run circles around us in many of these geographies. So I think we have to be generous in our outreach, and we have to see this as a business development exercise. If our business is building India, then reaching out to certain partner countries becomes business development, and the US has to be one of them.